Another time he came and he took my son pale juu kwa land ni angazi. Anashika mtoto anamswing. So mimi na niko huko chini. You know, trying to I used to be paid $675 a week. Akikuja kunichukua kazini, he would leave me with $50. The rest he takes. And on the 6th of March 2021, we had a beautiful beach wedding in Florida.
You show them the pictures.
Yes.
Tuko family, how are you doing? My name is Marjorie Wanjiku, and as you can see, we are in the wilderness. We are here to have a conversation with a lady who is excelling exactly where we are. We are in Nairobi. You'll get to see how she is excelling. However, behind that excellence, she has a story about love, wrong choices as she calls them in partners, and very abusive relationships. But you know what? At 50, she has opened her heart again to love in the United States. Come, let's have this conversation with Marjorie Wanjiku Bernard.
My name is Marjorie Wanjiku Bernard. Many of my friends call me Marge. I'm a 54-year-old lady. I'm a mother, a proud mother of 2. And I'm also a wife. I'm a businesswoman. And I'm also a recording artist, gospel music recording artist. I just started recently, and I'll tell you why. And I run a business which is tourism. I'm based out of the United States in a place called Lake Nona, Orlando, Florida. And I'm also based out of Nairobi, which is where my heart is. Yes.
How did you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in Jericho, the last born of 2 children, 2 daughters. My sister is about 5.5 years older than me, and me, who was the last born. Grew up in a single parenthood home. Mom, she's still with us, a very hardworking mother, single mom. I remember one of my aunties, her husband passed away in 1980. So my sister was plucked out from being my sister, and she went to live with my auntie and some other cousins in Escalation. So I ended up being like the only child now. And of course, being an only child, that's a bit challenging when you're just an only child. And my mom was always on the move with her sister, and you know, so I was really pretty much raised by a houseboy. You know,
a houseboy.
A houseboy. Yes.
How was that?
Not good. Not good. It was not good at all. You know, he was way older, of course, when I was a kid. But I remember him, you know, as a kid, and I'll always tell parents, please never let your girl child be raised by a houseboy, because so many times he tried to molest me, and you know, I didn't have a voice. Of course, he didn't succeed, because then I ended up being very rebellious, and nobody would understand why I was rebellious, and especially with this houseboy, because I'd throw, tulikuwa tunaishi nyumba ya Jericho upstairs, so I'd throw his suitcases. I'd throw his suitcases from dirisha juu all the way downstairs. And you know, even my mom, I didn't know how to...
Would not understand.
How I didn't know how to express what was happening. You know, you're 10 years old. I was 10 years old, 10, 11, yeah? You don't know how to even tell your mom that when you get into bed for your afternoon nap, that this guy also jumps into bed with you. You know? So that was a tough time, you know. You can imagine I was a very tiny kid, 10 years, 11, 12, I believe it happened for just about that period of time. And I just became very rebellious. And maybe my mom, when she watches this, then she'll be like, oh, okay.
I didn't know.
Because I never spoke about it. I never did. But all I did is I became very tough. Very, very tough, because I felt violated, you know. Every time I'd go shower, this guy would, you know, nyumba ya Jericho, pale juu kwa bathroom, that door, he would pop over
and peep at you.
To peep and see me showering or something. So it was a tough time, but I held my ground. He never succeeded. You know, he would always, you know, kind of tell me, oh, hata tumatiti tunakuwa siku hizi unaringa, you know, small things like that.
That must have been traumatizing.
It was.
And I was not there then, so for now, sorry about it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you're protective of your children and also speak to parents.
Yes.
To take care of that, of their children.
Yeah.
Now, what did you study?
I did business administration, secretarial. I went to Graffin's College. That's where I did my studies. And then after that, I went to a small computer college that was called Associated Computer Services. It was in Development House. I don't know whether they exist anymore.
Development House still there.
Are you sure?
Development House.
The Development House is there, but probably the college maybe not. But that's where I got a lot of my IT skills, because I had a wonderful, wonderful bunch of teachers in that college. Yeah, so I specialized a lot in IT. And then from there, I jumped into the business, to the employment market. Yeah.
You mentioned in your introduction, you mentioned that you got married very young.
Yes.
How did that come about?
So I have two children. One, my daughter is, I got my daughter when I was 22 out of wedlock. And then when I was 24, I got married to the father of my son, who also traditionally adopted my daughter. So that was young. That was 22. I was already a mom. Now I'm 54. She's 32. Yeah. And so when I got married to now my husband, he was also from a single family, home. So we kind of had this agreement, and we had known each other before even that time. We worked together at Jomo Kenyatta Airport. So we kind of had an agreement that we're going to make this work. And when I got in, I got in wholeheartedly, One, because I didn't want to repeat that. It's like a generational thing. My mom, single mom, Mimi Sasa Pia, and I didn't want that. I wanted a steady home for my children. And he didn't offer that. He didn't offer that. He actually ended up being very, very, very abusive human being.
Please share that experience, because there are lessons that we are going to learn from it, even as we appreciate your current happy situation, happy marriage. Yeah. Yes.
So, like I said, he actually worked for Lufthansa, and at the time I worked for Kenya Duty Free. That time Kenya Duty Free was the it thing in the 90s. The owner was called Ibrahim Nasir, sorry. And so when I joined Duty Free, I was in the lounge. That was the it thing. And of course he was in working for Lufthansa customer service. So we knew each other. They used to come to the lounge when they have guests to bring the lounge passes for their guests, things like that. So just mutual friends working together. And after that, I just, when I got pregnant with my daughter, I left Duty Free, because at that time they never really took in pregnant women, because we were supposed to dress in a certain way. And we were supposed to not show our bellies. We were supposed to, actually our clothes were see-through dresses.
Really?
Yes. It was another. So of course, when I got pregnant, I was no longer that beautiful, marketable girl that was supposed to be, the face of the lounge. So I remember being demoted. I was taken to the shop. So when being demoted, taken to the shop, we were wearing now the pink skirt and like a pink jacket and a grey blouse inside, silk blouse inside. Then in no time again, tumbo imekuwa kubwa. So again, I'm not marketable, so I lost my job. I actually lost my job because of pregnancy. And really that is so unfair, yeah?
It is.
Very, very unfair. And so that's how I lost my job at Duty Free. And I got my baby in December of 1992. The same December of 92, I was of age to vote. That is just when multi-party had started. And I remember casting my first vote at Uhuru Primary School, and I voted for Kenneth Jindo Matiba. Yes, my best vote ever. So from there, I struggled as a single mom raising my baby.
So at what point did you leave, and how abusive was your husband?
I left after my son turned to 10 months.
10 months.
10 months. And that is...
So how long did that marriage last?
Oh, that marriage lasted just about 2 years. Just about 2 years.
What makes you describe him as an abusive?
Oh, first of all, at this point, I was working for the first family. I was working for the Kenyatta family. And they had the school at Peponi School. I always say Peponi School, PO Box 236, Ruiru. I still remember the address. I was the personal assistant to the headmaster, the late Dr. Richard Wilding. And I remember Dr. Wilding telling me, then I was already a single mom, yeah? But I have this beautiful job, wonderful job, been paid so well, and such a high office. So, but I remember my boss seeing the signs, because at times I'd come to work and I'm crying. I'm a very happy person. And at times he would see she's holding something inside, and since she got engaged to this man, things look a little different. This is not the Marge we know. So anyway, I started going to work. Saa zingine nimechapwa. He was abusive in the sense that he was also abusing a lot of alcohol. He was a Jehovah's Witness and he had been excommunicated.
Because of the drinking? Because
of usharati mingi, na pombe, and all that. So I had a lot of people telling me, man, just check this guy out. But ni mpole when he's not drunk.
In the society or?
In the society, even outside, when he's not drunk, na akifanya miwani hivi, alikuwa anazigonga hivi, unasema, oh my God, what a nice young man, But the people who knew him outside had told me. And he was really used to a lot of prostitutes. He would pick them from the streets and all that. And I didn't know. I lived in Ruiru. Because the school had gotten me a place in Ruiru, near Ndanga Hotel, near prison, Tuko Ruiru. So whatever he was doing in Nairobi, I didn't know. But he was always coming to my house, And of course, as a young lady, you're like, wow, this guy has come all the way from the airport. Amechukua taxi back. He must really love me. And of course, he says, I love you. Alafu unaona efforts zake. And you say, kweli, this guy really loves me, yeah? But he was hiding his other part that I didn't know. The other dark side that I didn't know. Because had I known, I wasn't going to, So anyway, we got married. But before he got married, the first time he really beat me up nicely, actually not me, he beat up my daughter.
Not nicely, it's badly.
Badly, okay. He beat up my daughter first. I came from work. Now sasa nimetoka, we are now living together in Tena Estate. So I'd just been dropped by the driver at work. And then we lived in some apartments. So we lived on the 3rd floor. So I went upstairs and asked my maid, where's the baby? And she told me, mami, mtoto amelala. Amepigwa huku, ni kulala amelala. So I went to check my child. Nakuta mtoto yuko na marks za slaps. And she's just sleeping and she's like, in her sleep. And man, that is the time I should have said, that's it, I'm not doing this. But by that time, alikuwa asharashia, all those things. So you're like, okay, people are going to start talking. We went ahead and when I asked him about the baby, hata mimi nilichapwa sana that day. Nilichapwa.
What had happened?
He was drinking during the day because there was a bottle of vodka there and orange juice. And I remember later on him making a joke a couple of years later, saying how my daughter was drunk.
That day?
Yeah, he gave her juice and vodka and the way she was drunk. And this kid was 2 years old. So anyway, we got married, a big wedding at All Saints Cathedral, Nairobi. We were joined by Provost Peter Njenga. Right now, I think he's a Archbishop, if I'm not wrong. And I remember shortly after that, we went for the usual counseling, But shortly after that, when things started going wrong, I went to Provost Njenga and I told him what was happening. And he was very angry because he really didn't ever want to imagine that he could join, people in holy matrimony. And then those kind of things were happening, So from there, things just went downhill. He kept saying I didn't want to have his child, and a child it's God who gives when it's the right time.
Yes.
So finally I got pregnant. Still, there was a lot going on. Women were calling my house. Kulikuwa na mobile phone, kulikuwa na cell phones. Women were calling landlines. Women were calling my house. And I remember being told, kifununu tu hivi. He used to move around with his colleagues, older colleagues' wives. Yeah. So I remember there was one called Martha. They met in the guy is working with her, with him at they both worked for Lufthansa. He passed away. Martha and my husband at the time wameenda Tanzania, wako Zanzibar. I don't know. The man doesn't know. He deems this as a kid brother. This is his wife. Hata mimi sikuwa nikijua kuna hiyo connection. You know, because she's my older sister. Yes. That's how I consider her. It was a family. But all the people he used to bring to the house. There was also another lady called Sarah. Her husband also worked with him at Lufthansa. She also used to come to the house, you know, when I gave birth to my son. And they had an affair. I was like, wow. And her cousin too. Alikuwa amemkombolea nyumba Kayole. So I'm like, these ladies, they come to my house. Mimi nimezaa mushiaire. I am cooking for them. Well, I had 2 maids, but they've really been hosted here. We take care of everything. I wanakuja because they are drinking. They drink. My house, like every Saturday was a party, you know. So I'm like, I'm breastfeeding. I have kids, and these parties are not ending. But I didn't know what was happening until much later. And this guy is a type of a guy to confess and tell me, by the way, that day when you were, that is the day when you went upstairs, we had a bedroom downstairs. Her husband blacked out. You went upstairs, me and her went to the guest bedroom downstairs. He used to tell me. Rosafi. Anyway, when I got pregnant with my son, I was really abused. He really beat me up, physically beat me up. I gave birth to my son as a premature baby.
Out of the beatings? Out of the beatings.
Kusukumwa kwa ngazi, you know. So I remember my doctor. He's called Dr. G.K. Onyango. And Dr. Onyango said, you know, Marge, if you are not going to report this, me, I'm going to report this as your doctor. Because this is not going to happen. I was put on bed rest from 6 months. And I gave, from 5 months, I gave birth to my son at 7 months, 7.5 months. And of course, you can imagine, at 7.5 months, he was not ready. Yeah? So he was put in an incubator at Gertrude's Children's Hospital for a while. And of course I'm there because he has to lactate, yeah? So anamtoa kwa incubator, ninakanyonyesha, alafu kanarudishwa. And you know, he's tied up because he also developed jaundice, you know? And guess who would come and visit? That lady Sarah and her husband and my husband and her cousin, this Sarah's cousin alikuwa anaitwa Ndoli, if I'm not wrong. Ule amekombolewa nyumba Kayole. Now me, I'm imagining this is a group of friends wanakuja, you know, to check on us. Kumbe, these 2 ladies actually happen to be the ones who sleep in my house when I'm in Gertrude's with my child.
I mean, you in hospital?
Yeah.
With your child?
With my child, fighting for his life, yes.
And they're having an affair at the house?
Yes. Life went on. So my maid would tell me, huku kulikuwa na sherehe, there was a big party here, hata walilala huku. Yeah. So I remember my husband, ex-husband at the time, coming to show Sarah and her husband and the cousin, coming to tell them, saa 8 usiku, this is how an incubator looks like. You see, this is where the pipes come. I mean, like, they were drunk. Saa hiyo amepewa uji na my mom. Amepewa uji na njahe. Anilete, because I need all the nutrition.
Yes.
Juu ninanyonyesha kaka mtu. Inaletwa saa 8 usiku. Uji liganda. My mom came, you know, kule katikati ya siku akijua she's bringing me the second flask. Anakuta hata ile flask ya kwanza haijafika. So yeah, so I went through it. You know, it was really bad. What broke the camel's back is when I moved out from the house in Comarock. it was shameful living there, because he used to blow some serious music like boom 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 boom. We had like a big Nissan, you know. Akiingia kwa gate, watchman would come and tell me, aki tena sisi rusikia hiyo gari kutoka mbali, we just leave the gate wide open, kwa sababu atapita na sisi, you know. So there was so much going. Tulikuwa kwa Rock Face 2 shopping center, anajulikana gate ndio unasikia askari vile anaongea, you know. Neighbors were no, you know, it was a very shameful thing. So what I decided to do was, maybe this is not where I need to be. This is probably not what I want for myself. Okay. And my brother-in-law and his friends are the ones who actually helped me to look for a house in Buruburu Estate, and they helped me move akiwa ameenda kazini usiku. My ex-brother-in-law and his buddies are the ones, because they were saying it. I remember one time my ex-brother-in-law telling the brother, I'm just going to kill myself. I'll just go up the tree and just kill myself. I can't believe what you're doing to her and the children. You've gotten such a wonderful wife, but all you do is just hurt her, beat her, you know. What really again broke the camel's back is one time alikuwa amependa akikunywa ananichapa sana. Na alikuwa amenunua tu pen knives. He loved pen knives, some funny knives, all sorts. Alikuwa analala nazo chini ya mattress pande yake. So this day he came, he really beat me up. I mean, he used to always beat me up. I mean, like every week. Nilikuwa mpaka nishakwa almost numb. So this day he came and he took jiko ilikuwa iko chini. We were making matumbo. I love matumbo. So he took the jiko from outside and then went with it upstairs to our bedroom and took the 2 children and locked himself in the house, in the room. And he said, today, me and the children, we are going to die together. Carbon monoxide ndio itatuua. So me and my maid Rose. Now I only had one maid, and I'll tell you why I'm talking about Rose a lot. And may she rest in peace. Rose and I went downstairs kwa store tukachukua majembe. So we came to dig the door to rescue the children. To rescue the children because amefunga, and we know carbon monoxide.
Yeah, definitely suffocation.
Watakufa. So mi kuingiza mkono pale ananiuma, yeah? Naambia Rose, wewe usijali, you keep toboyo, it's kind of like a paper door. It's a funny door, si mbao yote. You just toboa, mimi don't worry about me. Let's get these children out. So finally we got the children out, and Rose ran outside with the children. So prior to that was the day now I decided I was leaving. Prior to that, another time he came and he took my son pale juu kwa land ni angazi. Anashika mtoto anamswing. So mimi na niko huko chini, you know, trying to
Was he insane?
No, he's a very normal man. Hata sai. He's actually, I think, on his 6th marriage or something like that. Okay. Yeah, but I guess she handles him. I don't know. Maybe kila mtu anga na dawa yake. So, you know, I was down there, Mina Rose, like we're waiting. He's just swinging the child. Remember, this is a child who was fighting for his life. Almost like he didn't want it. And I remember him saying, I don't know how to be a father. I was never raised by a father, so I don't know how to be a father. I asked him, listen, let me ask you a question. Do you know even a dog inajuanga kwenda kutafuta bones ilete puppy?
Yes.
So you are telling me with the education
you cannot be taught to be a father.
You don't know how to be a father. This is, you never taught. There's no manual. Even me, I didn't have a manual to be a mom. It just so happens that we integrate ourselves into that position of parenthood. And you're telling me hawezi kukua baba, haujui kukua baba. I don't know what manual he was looking for. So to cut the long story short, hapo kwa jiko, that is when I decided this is not going to happen. And again, I used to travel a lot. Nilikuwa naenda Dubai sana kuleta vitu. We had a company that time, Saisha Enterprises Limited, and we used to do Dubai visas. That was in 1997, 97, 98. 96, 97, 98. So it got to a point I said, hata hii biashara sasa siwezi hata kwenda mahali. Naenda wapi na nitakuta watoto wamekufa. So I decided to move out. So I moved to Buruburu Estate, phase 2, right behind the police station. Actually by the railway tracks, alafu police station iko nyuma. So I went there, I stayed there, and in no time he found me.
So did he want to come back?
I kept giving him, if there's a man I've ever given 500, 1,000 chances, was him. Because every time akikuja anakaa ni kama kuku kamenyeshewa.
Paka.
Kapole pole. Saa zingine amepigwa na huko nje, ana miwani. Saa zingine amepigwa anakuja hana viatu, you know? And I really, really tried so hard to help. Even an extent of, we actually had a reconciliation, and this time he was working for Emirates in Dubai, and I also went to work for Emirates in Dubai, and I went with the children because I had a very good job. I went with the children, and the kids were there in international schools, you know, in Dubai. But even that chance in Dubai,
he blew it off.
He blew it off. Sasa huko tena ikakuwa wamama Waganda. Sasa ame up his game. Sasa ni mama kwanza wamama wazee vigogo, yeah, old women, you know. So now again I'm fighting now mama wazee, you know, and I'm like, I'm going to get AIDS out of this, you know. So it got to a point I was like, me and him, I think we are done. I just don't want anything to do with him because I want to take care of my children. Yeah, anaonekana him, he doesn't really care. I don't know what kind of demons he had. So it went on like that, and I said, I think this, again, shame tena ingine Dubai sasa. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to try and see whether I can take the kids to the United States and see whether they can lead a better life away from all this. Because this time we had 2 cats. One was called Luna, a girl, and a Simba, the boy. And one time he came to the house very drunk, and he stabbed the cat
with a pen,
na fork.
Oh, okay.
Kwa jicho. The fork, police are the ones who came to remove to take the cat to the vet. Itolewe fork kwa jicho. So even the cops, when they came, this is Dubai now again. Yani Nairobi tumezoea polisi. So Dubai tumeanza tena huko. So when the police came, I remember one of the police chiefs, he just told me, you know, that fork
would have been,
that was yours.
Yes.
That was not for the cat. God loves you so much. Your fork ameiweka kwa jicho ya paka. It was meant for you. And what they did, they arrested him, and they took him for evaluation, mental evaluation. And of course, me being me, I didn't want to press charges. Yeah, sini baba ya watoto. I want him to, you know, don't arrest him. Please release him. I will make sure he goes for psych evaluations regularly. And that's what happened. But when he was there, I decided, you know, you're going to have to pull a quick one here. Because he was institutionalized for kind of like 2 weeks. So I decided, you're going to have to pull a quick one here, kabla atoke. This is your exit window. So that's what I did. Nikaenda embassy, nika apply visa. Well, there was a cousin of mine who was getting married, and I was the best maid. And I decided I am going to try the visa for my children. Na watoto na wakapewa visa. See God. God granted the visa. We went for the for the wedding. I went for the wedding in California. I left my children because my sister was there and my mom in the US. I left my children and my mom with my mom and my sister in Connecticut. Nikaenda nikamaliza harusi kule. I came and stayed with them for a bit, but see, I still had a job in Dubai. So I went back to Dubai. So when I went back to Dubai, Jamasi ndio ametoka hospitali. Family is not there. And me, I'd already also stopped living with him, you know. We were not living together. So, you know, now he was looking for me, you know, and apologizing. Oh, he's very good at that. Very good at it. You talk of narcissists and sadists, that's exactly 2 in 1. So...
Did you forgive him?
I've forgiven him.
Okay.
I have forgiven him. Because if I didn't forgive him, I wouldn't be able to be strong.
And even move on with you.
And even move on. And be the tough mother, the loving, tough mom that I've been to my children. I had to drop that baggage for the sake of my kids.
Okay.
And again, you see, I can't hate him because, you see, my son is his blood. So if I hate him, that means I hate half my son, you know. So I wouldn't do that, you know. And also, you know, with my daughter, when I was young and I had that relationship with the person I had that relationship with and conceived my child, I don't hate him, because how can I hate him, and yet I have half of that child is him, you know. So I don't have that in me, you know. That resentment, yes, is there, but hating, I just forgive. So yeah, so we went to the US, and
before you go to the US, talk to us about that stay in Dubai, your work. How was it?
Oh, my
is it Dubai?
Yes, it was Dubai. Yeah, so I worked for Emirates Airlines, and I was in in-flight services. I was in the administrative part of in-flight services. So we had a lot of, like, every manager had like probably over 700 cabin crew reporting to them. I was not a manager. I was a personal assistant to a manager. So I was pinned under a manager. So before all these flight attendants go to see the managers, they would pass through me, you know. And some of the things I would solve at my level, where the manager doesn't have to be involved. And a lot of Kenyan crew who are under my manager, they would come to me, and I was really there for them. You know, wakikosa wataki kwenda India because it's not a good flight, they would, you know, find a way to not, wanakuja wananiongelesha. They are watching. Well, they know, as I dared them a lot, you know. So anyway, it was a nice job, very challenging, but also not towards the end it was not good for me because of my family issues. So I did leave Emirates, and I did leave Dubai.
For how long were you in Dubai?
Total of 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite a good duration. Yes.
And when I left Dubai, I actually resigned from Emirates nikiwa niko US. 2 months in the US.
Okay.
Yeah. So, a job that I loved so much, a country that I love dearly, but I had to sacrifice that for my children. Or just as you just have to make those sacrifices, and I'm glad I did. Yes.
So what did you go to do in the US?
So going to the US, hey, what did I go to do in the US?
How long have you been in the US?
14 years.
14 years?
Yes.
So for 20 years you've been out of your country of birth?
Yes.
Let's talk about the 14 years in the US.
So when I went to the US, unajua nimetoka corporate world.
Oh, ule ulienda kufanya nini?
Sasa si nimeenda kutafuta.
Okay.
Si nimeenda kulea watoto. First of all,
how old were they?
Oh, my daughter was maybe about 12. And my son maybe 7.
Okay.
Yeah. So si nimeenda kutafuta. Well, you've gone there, you've gone to before I finally decided to go, nilikuwa naenda every month. So I worked for the airline, so I was able to go there every month. Yeah. But sasa 2009, something happened. I left my children with my mom and my sister. And I don't know what was happening to my sister at the time. She started really frustrating my children. And I used to send money, and I used to go there every month. Wanakuja wanachukua JFK, I'd carry shopping, you know, from Dubai clothes, nani sijui bibi ya pasta nataka dhahabu chain in a letter, you know, those kind of things. But it got to a point, I don't know what my sister was going through in her life, and she really frustrated my children. She locked my daughter out during a snowstorm. Winter.
And that is a big thing in the US.
Yes, and that's a child. And then one time my son was in the shower kioga, and the house only had one bathroom. So my sister went upstairs, it's my house, get out of the bathroom, and my son was showering. And she opened, you know, from the US you can open the door from the outside. And my son was like, oh my God, auntie is going to find me naked. So akivaa underwear, dadangu akaingia, started beating him. So those are the days of Skype. So I'm Skyping with my children. One is telling me this story, and the other one ananionyesha lip vile amechapwa. So that's when I said, you know what? Those children have been frustrated, and I'm not dead. I am not dead. I will have to make it to the US. And I had a friend in the US who was somebody like a pen pal. So I told, no.
I'm smiling because some of our audience do not know what
a pen pal is.
Are.
Okay, a pen pal is like, it's a friend, somebody you have. This one was.
Can you see this?
Those are
deers.
Yes, those are deers. And but then they all look at them. They are so happy.
Wonderful.
Then you see a lot of that. This is I love this place.
We also love it.
You'll see the zebras.
We are already enjoying it. Wonderful.
So this friend told me, it's okay, come with your children. I have a big house. I'll give you a place to stay. You get a job and stuff like that. So I took that leap of faith, and this friend and his friend came and picked me up from the airport in JFK, and I took my bags to his house, and he had a big, like 6-bedroomed house. He gave me 3 bedrooms, and he said, when you settle, you get a job, whichever way, that's okay.
Yes.
So there was no love interest or anything like that. It was just a pure friendship, and a much older man, and with grown-up kids. So it was a good relationship, So I went.
Friendship.
Well, it was purely friendship. So we went, and I went and took the kids. My sister just saw me at the door.
You went in a surprise.
Yeah, because I told them, don't tell anybody I'm coming. I'm just going to show up, and that's what happened. I took my children, got their stuff there. They knew that I was coming. So we got in the car and we left. And we went to this friend's house where we stayed. And it was really nice there, very quiet. I was still, trying to figure out, I had some money at least. So I was still trying to figure out, what am I going to do around here? I'm a single mom, divorced, But this time we're divorced, So I'm wondering, so what am I going to do? So pale, there was one of the friends to this friend was like, I really like you. And I was like, I think I like you too. And how about, we get married? And I was like, yeah, but I hardly know you. And he said, you know what? You'll know me. Why don't we just get married? And we got married.
Okay.
We got married. And
after how long in the US?
About 3 months.
Okay.
We got married. So we got married. And when I got married to this guy, he wasn't working. Sasa mimi nilikuwa nafanya kazi. I was the one working. I was a nanny. Naenda ninalipo pesa. I'm paid money because I was being paid in cash. He would come for the money every Friday.
To do what?
See, to take all the money now from me. So me, I'm his slave. Yani mimi naenda nafanya kazi. I work the whole week. He comes and takes the whole envelope.
At that point, were you thinking like, was I cursed with men or?
Probably. No, just wrong choices.
You said that.
Just wrong choices.
Yes.
But again, I'm not ugly. So
yeah, you're not.
so maybe you're looking at it like, oh, okay. Unasema, maybe this is going to be better. Maybe this is going to be better. Something like that.
Okay. Tell us about this one who will come and pick your salary.
Sasa alikuwa nakuja. Yes. I used to be paid $675 a week. Akikuja kunichukua kazini, he would leave me with $50. The rest he takes.
And then what about your children?
See, now I'm with my children now. And his children. He had 2 children now and my 2 children. So it was like a blended home. Very nice. So initially, it was a very beautiful thing.
I want to understand, where was he taking the money?
See, because now he doesn't want to work. Si amepata mtu wa kumfanyia kazi.
And will he use that money to manage this blended family?
No. Now he is just running the money the way he wants.
And you're the one working?
And I'm the one working. I even started paying for his car payment. You mean ndo nalipa car payment yake? Yeah, from my money he counts the rent for his house. So he started being very abusive. Again, very abusive. So again, police were in and out of this place.
Ngoja kidogo. You're abused in Kenya.
I'm abused in Kenya, then
You're
it follows
abused in Dubai.
It follows me everywhere.
You're in the US.
I'm abused again. Yeah. And in Kenya, by the way, I was abused mpaka nilikuwa nashindwa. What is happening to me? Am I awake? Mpaka nagongesha kichwa kwa ukuta ndio nisikie ama
it's real.
It's real. Yeah, you got me. So now again, now here I've gotten this other guy, and he's just a useless muzungu.
Na anakupiga.
Ananichapa. One time alipata my daughter amelala, kamwagilia maji, cold jug of water. Another time he got my son in the kitchen, and mtoto wako ameweka ketchup back in the fridge. He held my son kwa kona ya ukuta and raised him up. So I was like, okay, wrong number.
Again?
Wrong number. This one, this is not gonna work. So one of those Fridays amekuja kunichukua kutoka kazini. And of course he has my envelope again, $675. Nimepewa 50. Mwenye kufanya kazi anapewa $50. So he went and bought a kabia, they call it butch. And every time I see that drink, I cringe.
Butch.
Inaitwa B-U-S-C-H. It's a cheap thing. Alafu he used to roll cigara, the tobacco. So that day he was so mean. My kids had gone for a church thing, and he started beating me up. So my kids were out there with another lady, a family friend, and she called the house. I said, you know, can you hear that noise? Please call the cops. So when the cops came, they got to the house. One of the cops said, we've come to this house a couple of times. What is happening? So this guy was smoking the cigarette and blowing moshi kwa uso ya polisi. Yeah? Na anafungua mkebe, anakunywa. Then this guy told them, you know, even this woman, yuko hapa, she's not even an American citizen. She's not even an American citizen. She should actually be deported. She should be sent back to her country. So this cop was like, oh, 1 minute. Is that why you always beat her up? Is that why always we are here? Because she's not
an
American citizen? Wow. And they looked at me, I'd really been hammered. So they told him, stand up. You have the right to remain silent. Everything you say, you know, that Miranda right.
Can be and will be used against you in court.
Wakamchukua. They went with him. Then kidogo, one of the big bosses came back, the cop. And then he came to ask me, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I'm fine. But I was crying, you know, and, you know, now I'm alone in the house. Then he asked me, can you drive? I said, yes, I can drive. He said, can you follow me to the police precinct? I said, yes, I will. So I followed him. And he said, everything you say in the police precinct is going to be recorded. I said, yeah, I'll follow you. So I followed him. And I went and I wrote the statement and everything. And ikakuwa Monday, he's going to be arraigned in court, and he was. With domestic abuse, domestic violence, and, you know, assault and battery, all those things. So when we were there, now he was apologizing, he's telling the judge he's sorry and everything. Judge is looking at me and wondering, this guy, I mean, this lady and this guy, yani hata haoni, you know, what happened here. So anyway, the case went on and on and on. And that is just when President Obama had introduced the Violence Against Women Act. So under Violence Against Women Act, I was granted a divorce, and I was also granted work authorization to work and live in the United States.
Wow.
As a victim of Violence Against Women Act. It's called VAWA. I don't know whether it's there anymore. So that's to cut the long story short, that's how I ended up, you know, getting to be in the US and to live and work in the US. It's a long process because we had a lawyer who actually was pro bono, a wonderful, wonderful woman. Now she's a big law professor, yeah, wonderful human being. And yeah, it was hard.
It was hard.
But now
that is how you are welcomed in the US.
That is how hata bado. Sasa pale si unaona kule sasa amewekwa ndani. Sasa na mimi nitaka kwa ile nyumba. I can't. Will I go back to my sister's where I took the children?
No.
No.
So this is the house that you're given by your friend?
No, no.
Okay.
We moved from the friend's house. Can I even go there? No. So now I had an auntie in Worcester. It's called Worcester in Massachusetts. So my auntie is my father's sister. So I talked to her and she said, oh yeah, I have a big house. Why don't you bring the children? Come, come, come. And her late husband, he just passed away, and I was so sad to hear that he passed away. And we went to her place. So as we were at her place, bado naenda ile kazi. I still go to that job. Sijapoteza kale kazi. And it so happened that my auntie was getting her sister, who worked for Kenya Airways, she's late now, was coming to the US. And my auntie felt that me and my children atuko hiyo class. We were given 48 hours to vacate again. Namuuliza auntie, she has a three family story home. Hii iko na 3 bedroom ya chini, yeye yuko hii ya katikati. Her son and his drinking buddies huko ma DJ wako huko juu. Auntie sasa si ameniambia nihame na watoto wangu. So nimeambia nihame, what do I do? Sasa nimeshindwa, what am I going to do? But there was this it was Memorial Day weekend, wanga inakuja almost towards the end of May. So, and I remember this year, I just remembered, and I told my kids, man, do you remember that Memorial Day weekend? So nimeambiwa tuhame. So I'm like, gosh, hata sasa kazi by this time kazi imeisha. Hata I'm waiting for my check. Now I may hold. You know, wakitaka kutesa wazungu watakutesa. Amekataa na pesa yangu.
Kwa nini? Na unafanya kazi?
Si sasa ame decide she doesn't want, and she's thinking about paying me my money. So now I don't have money. So I was with my kids, so I said, now what are we going to do? I told my kids, you know what? There must be a church here somewhere. I had like less than $10 between me and nimeuza dhahabu. I sold kwa ile marriage ya kunyang'anyo 675 mpaka gold ziliuzangwa. He sold, so I have nothing. So I told my kids, you know, we'll look for a church here. Na tutatafuta church ya Wakenya, because even when we were suffering, they were not there for us. Let's look for just any other church. I'm sure tutapata nyumba ya Mungu itatu accept. So we looked for a church. We got a church. Me and my kids. We walked in. The bishop was there. He was an African American bishop. So I told him everything that we were going through, and we've been given 48 hours, and from there we don't have anywhere else we can go to. Can you help us? The guy said, oh, I'm so sorry. This is not the place for you. You know?
It's a church.
Yeah. Maybe you go and become a street family. Go to the streets, whatever. But pale, when I was talking to the bishop, and listen to this, there was a lady cleaner, alikuwa na clean. And she was eavesdropping. Alikuwa nasikiza. This lady ni mzungu. Unaona nimeenda kukimbilia African ngozi yangu. Vile ameniambia. And get out. There's no place for you here. That lady, so tulitoka, there was a vending machine up just before you get into the church, just outside. I told my kids, I only have this $5. I was holding $5. I'm going to buy for you a Coke. That's my daughter, my son, a Coke, and everybody a bag of Lay's potato chips. Why am I buying Coke? Mtashiba. Because from here, we don't know what next. Yes. Tumeulizia hata shelter, unasikia man of God vile ametuambia. So this lady came running as I was at the vending machine. Now kila mtoto Coke, Lay's potato chips, Coke, Lay's potato chips, na mimi Coke. Wacha watoto wakule potato chips, mtakunywa Coke. Because from there we don't even know what next. This lady came running and she said, you know, I listened to what you're telling the bishop in there. And I know this lady, friend of mine, who works somewhere, and they work with lawyers. And that is how we got our lawyer.
The pro bono lawyer. The
pro bono lawyer. But now, hii weekend kulikuwa na a Kenyan family. Tumegrow now Jericho, na wanaishi Connecticut, and they had a party ya Memorial Day weekend, and they had invited us. Of course they knew what we were going through. But I told my kids, you know what, tumekunywa coke na lays. These guys have a party. Tunaweza enda kule. Maybe tuulize mama yao. Ama they have a big house. Ama wanaweza kutupatia karoom kamoja as I look for work. And we made it there. We went there. Kulikuwa na party. Everybody was having a good time. I mean, guys are living American dream, eh? Sisi tuko tu mimi na watoto wangu. Watoto wakachukua sahani, kila mtu akajiwekea tu chakula. I asked that lady, your mama. Now she passed away again, even another one who passed away. She said, hey, because her son and my sister have a child together. So she said, hey, if I take you guys here, your sister, sitaja kujitoa kwa hiyo wrath yake. So unfortunately, poleni, I can't house you. But there was a young man in that party. He was called Dominic. And he had me asking huyu mama warika ya mama yangu. Dominic akasema, Marge, ebu come, let me talk to you. So I went. He said, I live in a little house, ka 1 bedroom. Na kakona sitting room, na kakona ka kitchen kadogo na kabafu. If you guys don't mind,
you can be.
Me, I'll give you my bedroom, nilalange sitting room. And that's what happened. I got a job. Now I was paying Dominic $100 every day for that room of his. His rent was $600. I was giving him $400. But to me, that was nothing. Tumepata a roof from
over your heads.
Over our heads. From yani, even you could not imagine nani atakupatia mali pa kuishi. Not a relative, just from the kindness of his heart. May his soul rest in peace, because he died of a drug overdose, I'm told. And so we lived there. And through a friend of mine, he introduced me to another friend of his who was called Kemani. And Kemani came to our aid. Kemani, when he met me, he was like, oh my God, no, these wonderful children like this. And you, oh my God, look at you, such a pretty boy. He just lost his wife. Man, I can't imagine what you're going through. Alafu na kule tunaishi kwa Dominic. Dominic naye ni mlevi. Ya kupindukia. Akilala kwa ngazi analala straight kama ruler. You know the steps hivi. Analala hivi. So this guy said, this is not a place for you to raise these kids. And even Dominic at one point, he tried to make a pass at my daughter. So again, this was hatuwezi kukaa pale. So my friend Kemani said, you know what, I'm going to give you a loan. You buy, I'm going to give you my car. Ndio endange kazini. And then out of that, tutatafuta kagari kazee. Hata nitakununua lakini utanilipa na. Ukipata mshahara unanilipa. So that's what happened. He bought a car for $3,000. So I got a car. So unajua kila mshahara, sasa by this time I'm making like $800 a week. So paying him $3,000 was not hard. And then we went, and I had money for 1 month rent. He said, sasa na hiyo nyumba mumepata. He told us to look for a house. So we looked for a house. Got a nice 3-bedroomed house. Oof, finally.
You got a home.
A home. So he said, now, do you have the money? I said, wait, inalipo $775 na hiyo sija count maji na stima. Na gari yaka kagari umeninunulia petroli. He said, it's okay, I will give you the money. Yeah, first, last na security, 3 months. Mimi nilikuwa na 1 month, akanipatia 2 months. So we got the 3-bedroomed house. A friend of his was called David Wahome. He passed away. He was an engineer. David Wahome had just bought a home. Na zile viti mzee alikuwa nazo, hana haja nazo.
Akakupatia.
Nikapewa. Mattress nikatafutiwa mattress David Wahome. Kemani pia yuko na mattress na kitanda, you know. Nyumba ikajaa. Ka TV nikaletewa. Kaze tuko na TV. Kemani brought me, I think he brought me a washer and my daughter's teachers, because my daughter was an A student. The teachers brought me a dryer, alafu na microwave. And they brought food. So in no time, nyumba imejaa.
Now we can start a life.
Now we are starting a life, man. Yes. Kukaa kidogo, by the grace of God, nimepata work authorization. Now I'm even working properly. My kids also have legal stay to stay in the United States after all that court and back and forth. And then from there, nimepewa kazi. I've been called for an interview by Delta Airlines. They offered me a job. Sasa unaona sasa mambo ikaanza kufunguka pole. I'm telling you, Mungu alale. When you scream to him, because I really used to scream. But I used to scream nikiwa ninajifunika na pillow, because the next bedroom was my daughter's. And then the one at the end was my son's. And I didn't want my kids to hear me cry. And I know they used to hear. Just as I talk, ukifunika na pillow, so you have to breathe. So anyway, I got the job with Delta Airlines and I was working. And then kids are growing and I realized, oh damn, hii mshahara ya Delta Airlines hainisaidii sana. I started doing a second job as a caregiver. Na nikaenda nikasoma kukua CNA, Certified Nursing Assistant. So I got the certification. And I used to now part-time take care of patients and work for Delta. So ikafika mahali tena nikaona, hii Delta hii naamka saa 8 usiku kwa snowstorm ya 2010. It was really bad. I almost crashed actually. Nikasema I'm not gonna do this job because I used to drive 1 hour to work. 1 hour, 1.5 hours. I decided now to go full time to being a caregiver.
Yes.
And that is the first time sasa kwa ile shughuli ya kuwa caregiver. The first time I ever washed a dead body. Now talk of you don't know even anything anymore. Now naosha dead bodies sasa. Remember, this is not new. Kwetu hata tuna katoto kadogo. Watoto nimepanguza diaper ni watoto wangu. Nobody else. So now sasa ninapanguza diaper wazee na waosha, and then I also started loving them. Because I think I have a very big heart. So I really started loving my patients. Wakiwa wagonjwa, mimi ni mgonjwa. Wakikufa nimeisha. It's so bad. You know, and yeah, that's the first time I had an experience now washing a dead body.
How did that come about?
I was taking care of a patient. She was a cancer patient, stage 4. Alikuwa na lung cancer na ilikuwa imespread mpaka kichwa. She was also a single mom. So she had 3 children. She had a daughter and 2 sons. One son of hers was a truck driver, the other one was in jail. So when I went to take care of her, this woman used to smoke 2 cigarettes. Moja hii. Alikuwa ameamua kama ni sinishakwa na cancer, what else? Sinivuta tu sigara. Oh my God. So she used to really smoke. And I became very close to her. And the daughter really loved me. And she told me, her birthday was coming up, and she told me, you know, the son of my son who is in prison. And she didn't know God. I started talking to her about God, Jesus, because that's one thing I did. I always made sure the best gift I could give my patients was for them to transition knowing who God is and accepting Jesus. I did that. For me, that was my mission. Kind of, if I ever did anything right, was to make sure that final path of theirs, I was delivering them, making sure they know who God is. So this lady, she said, oh no, my birthday is coming, and even my son's birthday is also around the corner. And by the time, I don't think he'll ever be able to see me because he's in prison, I'll be dead. And they shared the birthday like the same day or a day apart. I asked her, where is this prison? And she was trying to remember, and she couldn't really remember. So I asked the daughter, and the daughter told me, oh my God, this is impossible. He can't come. I said, do you know in my country, San Karushayo, my country, you know in my country, this is her wish. We have to try and honor it. Otherwise, she will not rest. In my country, this we cannot. It would be possible. You know, we'll talk to authorities and they'll make it happen. I don't know whether they do or don't happen. But I said, okay, I'll take it upon myself. Give me the name of the prison. So that's what happened. I got the name of the prison. I got the name of the representative, the governor's office in Connecticut. I got the mayor's office where they were in Plainfield, and the prison where he was. And with all the calls I was making, I was saying, this is going to be really bad. It's like a taboo for us. This cannot happen. And they listened to me, and the governor's office called me, and there was a message from the governor that he's going to try and talk to the prison warden. And the mayor also called me, and the prison warden also called me, and they said, we are going to make it happen.
Wow.
But you are not supposed to be anywhere near that area, because I could be planning an escape. So the day off, I was not there. The day before, they sent the police to come and scout the place. They did. They saw the house only has one door, which I had told them, but they didn't believe me. They had to come and see. They came. I wasn't there. And the mom had her last wish with her son. And 2 days after, she passed.
Oh. But you made it happen.
But I made it happen. Mimi and my accent that time, accent too. I just change, you know. So I made it happen. And when I went back, she was able to talk to me. And she said, yes, I saw you, thank you, you know. And she passed. And when she passed, I gladly washed the first dead body was that lady.
Okay.
I had to give her that dignified send-off to the morgue. Yes.
Well, you said the first. You washed others before?
Yes, I washed others thereafter. I washed others thereafter. Oh my God, oh my God, I did.
And how do you feel? Okay, the first one, at least you had a reason. The others?
I got so attached to. This one was the mayor of a town called New England. Him and his lovely wife. And the wife died first. And the way she loved me, I wasn't going to let her go like that.
Okay.
So I washed her. Her husband the same, you know. When he passed, I was like, I'm not gonna send him off like that, you know, because that final transition, they defecate, they do stuff, the body releases, yeah. And I'm like, I cannot do that to my people. I have to send them out
when they're clean,
dignified.
Yes.
And I've always done that without any hesitation.
Wow.
Now I don't do caregiving anymore, but for as long as I was doing caregiving, I did it.
Okay.
Yes.
How long did you do caregiving?
10 years.
10 years?
Yes.
Wow.
10 good years.
And it sustained you in the US?
It sustained me. Pretty much, yes. It did. It's very lucrative. Besides the fact that people work for the money, of course I was also working for the money. I was not doing charity work, but it pays really. Most of these big houses you're seeing in Nairobi, nyumba hizi za wamama, si ni caregiver. They make so much money, those women. Oh my God. Probably they make like 1 million shillings a week, a month, yeah. Yeah.
How about the expenses?
Au kitu expenses mara mingi kwanza sasa kama you live unakuwa live in, they call it live in, you live in that home with your patient. Sasa expenses ni gani?
Okay. And
most families will cater for everything, your food, the patients, everything.
And you're free to see other patients?
No, it's just one patient.
Oh,
that one family.
You're actually attached to one patient?
Yes, ule nyumba umeingia, it's the family that is entrusted you with their loved one.
Okay.
They say that you take care of our mom.
Okay.
And I think right now probably they pay about $2,500 a week, dollars. So unaona mwisho wa mwezi ni $10,000.
$10,000.
Yes.
25 times 4 years.
Yes, 10. So when you put that, you see it's like 1.2 or 1.3 almost.
Indeed.
Our mama wanatengeza pesa. Well, not me. I'm not in the business anymore. I mean, I don't do it. I stopped quite a while back.
Now show us what you do here in Kenya, because we just were interrupted. The interview was interrupted by some deers.
So this is Sunshine Paradise. This is our 5-bedroomed all-ensuite villa. That is, we are situated in, this is in Mount Kenya Wildlife Estate, within the famous Opajeta Conservancy. So that whole part is Opajeta Conservancy. That's where we have the wild animals. So we have an electric fence that keeps the predators.
Oh, the predators on the side.
Simba na wenzake wako huko nyuma. But here you will see gazelles, you'll see warthogs, you'll see deers,
yes.
guinea fowls, or rabbits. I mean, there's all sorts of animals here.
This is a beautiful place, I should say.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a lot of monkeys, by the way. I don't know where they are today. We have a lot of monkeys, and I feed them too.
Okay.
I like feeding the monkeys.
Yes, I can see some traps here.
Yes. Then also I love animals so much.
You could actually just go back here.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So they come and lick some salt here.
Okay.
Because it's something they need in their system.
Yes.
They come out chumvi ya ng'ombe. So they come and lick some salt.
And they know what this is?
Oh, they do. They do. And actually they can smell it.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So they come here and then they drink water.
Awesome.
I guess you can tell I love the zebra.
Yes. It's on the couches.
In the couches.
And they're there.
And then
sculptures.
see mommy and baby. Yeah?
Yes.
So this is where guys come and hang out. So they come and relax here. And then this is where the buffet is. This is where people come and sit. They serve themselves. We usually have a chef. But today we don't have a chef.
Okay.
But
So
we also have a chef. When we have the chef on board, is a request from the client.
Okay.
They say we need an in-house chef.
Oh.
I call it a fire
Fireplace.
pit. Yeah, so they sit there because it gets cold here at night.
Yeah.
So naona vile kumeangaza sasa, it looks very hot. But at night it gets very cold and people still want to hang out. So then there's the fire pit.
Okay.
Then we have swing sets for children. You know, they can have fun. This is not just like a place that wazazi wanakuja. Even children. Yes. We have a lot of indoor games.
Well, the reason you're keeping the door closed is because of the monkeys.
Oh, the monkey. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you cannot leave a window. They come for monkey business here. Where is everybody? Did they run away?
You said there's no chef, but it smells very nice.
Huh?
There's no chef, but it smells
Oh,
like...
Nancy. Nancy is here. Nancy is our baby girl team. So Nancy is our housekeeping boss.
Okay.
So that's Nancy. Phil is our operations manager. He also happens to be my nephew.
Okay.
He is married to my late cousin's daughter. So he's the one who runs the show.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have...
Wait a minute. Phil who?
Kingori.
Okay. My namesake.
Kingori,
Yes.
Ben, this is my baby. I always say he's my last born. He's my last born baby. He's our general manager.
Awesome.
This one is the one, when you ask him something, he says right away. With a heart of gold. But then he's also a recording artist. So John is our logistics manager. He's the one who coordinates, like he was coordinating with you guys. So that's John. He's a wonderful man. By the way, he's also an apostle. A man of God. He preaches.
I'm also an ordained apostle.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
not ordained.
Yes. And then we have a baby girl, Nancy. And then Nancy is the one who started with me.
Okay.
When we just bought this place.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yes. So now
this is the villa.
Yes, this is the villa. So this is our business center. This is our business center. One of our alcoholic also. So we have Starlink internet here.
Okay.
So we make sure everybody is hooked up, and anyone who forgot their laptop, we have a laptop here.
You cannot say you don't have an excuse.
If you have to work, we sorted you out. So this is the living room. It's just a quiet space.
Yes.
It's just a quiet space.
Very well done furniture.
Yeah. The fireplace.
Sometimes you light up a fire there?
Yes. They're supposed to. That's what it's pretty much. It's supposed to be a fireplace, but I don't like it. Actually,
because of the smoke.
Yeah, because of the carbon monoxide.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm big on that. So, and again, you don't know who you're having around.
True.
That's why I have that fireplace out
okay.
there. Yeah. So that's the place. This is where they come hang out. Our air conditioning. Yes, every place has air conditioning. I'm big on making sure that everybody's comfortable. So this is the way upstairs.
Was it built when you're buying, or you
No,
set
I
up?
actually bought it from, I'm the second owner.
Okay.
So all the villas are identical. There's some that I believe are 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, and this one is 5-bedroom.
Okay.
I just decided, why would I tie money?
And you can generate some.
Why not generate money?
Wow, beautiful.
And also create employment.
And the culture of Kenya.
And the culture of Kenya. And of course, that's our name, Saisha Paradise. So this is one of the best bedrooms. This is master bedroom too. And why I say the best?
Because you have the view.
You got the view. From here, you see the Mount Kenya in the morning. It's so beautiful. And then if you wake up like around 5:45, you see the Nanyuki lights there.
Oh, yes, yes.
Alafu, you see all the animals right there.
Wow. So this is?
So this is bedroom number 3.
Oh, yes.
And this one has 2 beds. Also, master and suite. So this is for if you have children.
Okay.
You know, say the boys' room. They just hang out here. And yeah. Just make sure that we would want the kids to be upstairs. Okay. Yeah, and especially the underage ones, we like them upstairs. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this is ndio wanachezanga pool.
Tutacheza pool, tutacheza darts.
Niko darts Sasa you know why I put the pool table. Unajua tunaifunikia because of the heat.
Oh, okay.
I am very family oriented. So I didn't want women to come here na bwana zao wanasema tunaenda hivi tunarudi.
Kucheza pool. Nataka wakae hapa.
Nataka wanaume wakae hapa, akina mama wakisoma vitabu zao ama wakishona kule na watoto wako na games zao. You know? So I thought about all these things. Yes. So come on in.
Oh, thank you.
So this is master bedroom 1. So
it's huge.
Yeah, so this is when I'm here. This is where I am. So you can see my little, the brown one I was given by my daughter. It's a neck brace because of my condition, and it also massages me. Okay. Yeah. So this is where you come and wind up in the evening, and especially if you say you're writing a book.
Why couldn't we have done the interview here?
Yeah, that would have been nice too. I think I would have been swinging.
Oh yes. The movement would be.
Yeah. So this is this is the outdoor space. People
Very
come
nice.
out here, sit out here, wait in the evening. Jioni, you see a lot of animals wakipita.
Thank you for that transition. Let's now get into the last 4 years of you in the US, getting married. What did you transition to doing?
So. Yes, so once I left caregiving, I have a background in customer service and with administrative work and stuff like that. Ended up working for Hyatt. And then after being around there, knowing kutoka CEO wa hii kampuni ingine, the big one now that has has brought in contracted Hyatt, I was so good in sales. Like I said, I was actually in the store selling merchandise ya hii company, the big 4 accounting firm. So out of there I meet the CEO, I meet sijui nani. So they all know me, nimewauzia vitu. They were like, wow. So when I applied for the job, it was, I got a job. And I got a job as an executive assistant. And I worked with them for close to 3 years. Yeah, until January 21st this year, when I finally threw in the towel and I decided to come and do this. And again, why did I do that? In 2023, I've always donated blood. So 2023, we used to always have this, we call it the big red bus, the American Red Cross. Inakuja, inapark hapo kwa campus, you go and donate blood, you go back to the office and work. So I donated blood, I'm O positive. And after donating blood, they sent me an email. So I went to the office, I opened my email, I saw, there's an email, they're saying, your blood group, we'd really appreciate if you could give us your plasma and your platelets. Because, it saves burn victims and premature babies. And guess what? Both my kids, my first baby was also prem. Because I was very young, and then the other one, so but the first one was not as prem as the brother. So I was like, wow, premature babies. I'm a mother of 2 prematures.
Yeah, so
2 prem babies. So hey, if it can help, why not?
By all means.
Nikawaambia, book me, I'm coming. Ndakuja kuwapatia platelet na plasma. So I went. I even did a Facebook thing that day saying, I hope I'm doing good today. So nikaenda nikapeana plasma, platelet. They check you out for a little bit so you don't convulse, things like that. And finally I went home, and then about 3 weeks later, I got an email. They could not use my platelets or plasma.
Why not?
They found a degenerative ailment in me. And I was like, what? I didn't know. I know that I used to always tell my mom, nikilala, nasikia nimeganda. You know, I'm just like, now one side is dead. You know, and I would beat myself up, like, hey, what's happening? My mom ananiambia, wewe ulilala vibaya. You know, kumire urue. Tena, wewe tena umelala vibaya tena. Yani it's like very often nalalanga vibaya. So even I got like pillow, yani ile inaweza kuhook neck, basi nisilale vibaya. But I still go numb. So in short, we got the name to the kulala vibaya. It is a degenerative illness, like multiple sclerosis, with a pinch of something. Actually, why am I not even saying it? With a pinch of something called HLA-B27. And the HLA-B27 is called ankylosing spondylitis.
Oh, that is the nursing you. We are lost.
So it's incurable, in short. So I just have to learn to
manage it.
To manage it, to live with it, to probably try and eat healthy. It's also an inflammatory. The HLA-B27 is also inflammatory. So sazine ntafura, you know. So you think I'm very fat, and it's just what it is. It's a disease, you know. So yeah, so I got that ailment diagnosed shortly after I'd gotten married. And you know, when you just imagine that you've gone through so much in life. And you're just about like, oh my God, the kids now are grown. Oh, hata niliolewa, you know. Now it's just time to just grow old with my, between me and my husband, Prof is 8 years. So I'm like, we'll just grow old together. I even used to joke and tell him we'll be taking my dentures by mistake, you know. We'll be exchanging dentures. But there I am again.
Yes.
I got diagnosed with this. And then prior to this, he also had been diagnosed with kidney cancer, where they removed his left side kidney because it had a tumor more than 3 inches wide. And when they removed it, my daughter was against it because she's a medic, and she wanted a second opinion, but he insisted. He said he's at peace and everything, whatever decision. So they removed the kidney. When they went to and we went for a miracle. He went for a miracle service with some friends. And even when I was going for surgery, I remember the oil, the anointed oil, he came with that little veil. I was not even supposed to do it, but I was, before he went cross, you know, carrying him, and he's not supposed to have things put on his body apart from what they need for theater. But when he came out of it, the doctor came out and he talked to me and he said, your husband's tumor is so big. It's just a matter of time. When you send the kidney to the labs, we know how aggressive the cancer is. When they took the kidney to the lab, they took it to New York, they took it to Boston and Florida, came back, there was no cancer.
What?
No cancer.
It was just a tumor. It
was just a tumor. No, it was a miracle. It was not just a tumor. I keep saying it was a miracle. It was a miracle.
Indeed.
It was a miracle. So there we've just gone through that with him. This was before we got married. So he was like, oh, we need to get married, you know.
So when they remove the kidney, do they take it back or?
No, it's gone.
That's it.
You know, he lives with one kidney.
Okay.
Yeah. So now after we got married, sasi tumepita ile ya kidney. Sasa now we get married. Now getting married. Sasa ni mimi. You know. So I've been living with that pain, and in December 4th, 2023, I went for my spinal cord surgery. And I told God one thing. If I come out of this surgery, God, you lead, I'll follow.
Before we get to the surgery in 2023, let's get into this place where you got married.
Yeah.
How did you meet him? And then, because the disease is after marriage,
yes,
we get to the disease.
Yes, we met through mutual friends. Yeah, we met through mutual friends, and we met shortly after my 47th birthday. And then we went for our first date, And I think we were the only ones who were left there mpaka saa 7 usiku, mpaka guys were wondering, wao watatoka huko saa ngapi?
When I see teenagers.
Yeah, we just connected. And I remember my son, my daughter was in Boston, she still is. And my son and one of his colleagues, one of his college mates, they took me out for dinner. And my son asked me to make a wish, you know. And every time my son used to tell me, Mommy, you know, I'm just about to graduate uni. Now I'm not going to be there with you again. So you would better just get yourself somebody. Yes. Because me, you know, now I'm grown. My sister is already out there, you know. And now you're still hanging around here thinking I'm going to just babysit you. You know, he's very straight. I got married to him. He came in with a dog. Me, I came in with 2 children. But the dog died.
Interesting perspective.
He came in with a dog. I came in with 2 children. Yes. You know, and he always says how fortunate he is to have known me and for me to have accepted to get married to him. And on the 6th of March 2021, we had a beautiful beach wedding.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
In Florida.
You show them the pictures.
Yes, yes. And my mom and my son are the ones who handed me over to the professor. Yes. How
was it finding love after all those ugly incidents and faces in relation to love? You called them wrong choices.
Lots of wrong choices, yes.
At 50, you got married. Someone is watching and maybe is in your situation. What would you tell them? How has it been for you?
It's not been a bed of roses.
Before you go, we can tell that you're glowing.
I am? Okay.
Yes.
You know, anyone else can give up on you, but you should be the last one to give up on yourself. Because the minute you give up on yourself, it's over. So, people can give up on you. Don't give up on yourself. And of course, you know, God will not give up on you. Because God has your story. He knows why he brought you here. And what I can tell people is just keep yourself well. And know your worth.
Yes.
You know? And please don't be hanging around somebody saying he'll change. Because let me tell you, you're digging your own grave. I look at my life back. Had I said I'm going to stay because of
the
society,
children or the society,
the children, kwanza hawangekuwa watoto wangekuwa wamefika. Yeah? Alafu sasa ningekuwa sasa pengine I probably would be out there nishakuwa mama wa changao or something, you know, I've given up with life. But I knew my worth. And I knew this is a road deal for me. And what I'm going to do, and I always used to say this, I'll put one child hapa, na mwingine hapa. I will sink, but I'll make sure they're not sinking. They'll be able to reach the skies. And that was my policy. Even up to now, they're both professionals in the US. But I'm telling you, they always say, they know, I'm a phone call away.
Yes.
And my phones are here.
Wow.
You know, because you don't know. Sasa nini mnakujanga mnakuwa mumeka poa. Sasa like no, you smile like that and then that is exactly what we see.
Just ananiona anasema this is
anasema bas tall, dark and handsome. That is exactly, oh my God.
But when we get into it, you know why this conversation is so timely?
Yeah.
It's because currently in the country we have a surge of femicide cases. Ladies are being brutalized, others are being, their lives are being taken away by their loved ones.
Yes.
Starting with husbands, boyfriends, people who are close to them. So if you can stand here today and testify that you were in such a relationship and you decide to quit and now see where you've come from and gotten love, I think it's something that can be celebrated and they should also learn from your experience.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yes.
During my time we had, I think we also had the femicide. We had a lady, I remember one alikuwa anaitwa Kavata. And I remember Mkamba, na alikata vibaya sana bwana yake. And I remember one time my husband telling me, I will Kavata you. I
think I remember that story.
Yes. So I would ask women to just love themselves. We just need to learn ourselves, love ourselves. Yes, we live for our children, and we love our children very much. And you know, there's that fear of the unknown. Nikitoka kwa hii marriage, where am I going to?
Yes.
I asked myself that so many times, Kengori. Where am I going to start? let me tell you, ilifika mahali mpaka ile nyumba ya buruburu nikashindwa kulipa rent. Nikarudi kwa mama yangu Jericho with my 2 kids.
You have somewhere that you can go for rescue.
Yes, you have to, you've got to also be able to itafika mahali you have to learn to open up to somebody. Because being an introvert will not help you. Mental health is real.
Yes.
You know, and I believe you me, that is why some zingine unasikia other women resolved to killing themselves and killing their children. Why? Because they never spoke about it. Because they were worried about what the society is going to say. Atachekelewa, atafanya, sasa ajiue, anyonge watoto. Don't ever resort to that because of a human being like you. God has your back. Me, I just learned to rely so much on God. I didn't have anything else.
Thank you.
I know I have my mom, I have, you know, my sister, friends, but the only person I knew, besides my children, of course, they were always there. Sani wazima, even up to now. And I'm married. Yes, he's my closest friend. And he's my husband, and I love him dearly.
Please describe him.
He's not tall, dark, and handsome.
You have seen from the pictures.
He's actually not tall, dark, and handsome.
But you look good together.
We do. Yes, we complement each other.
Yes.
We complement each other. He has a short temper, and I'm a happy soul. So that's one thing. When I'm a kasirika, I diffuse him. He's a good person. He's an educator. I've learned a lot from him. He's a genius, by the way. He's a genius. He's very good when it comes to numbers. He's very good when it comes to sums and money handling. I'm not perfect. But he's a good provider as well. I must say that. He's a good provider. He's a good support system for me, as I'm also a good support system of his. So we complement each other. Like I said, he's not tall, dark, and handsome. He's very white. He's short. You know, he's got a kamtumbo. And in my previous life, maybe not what I would have gone for. You know, but when you look at,
you look beyond that now.
Yes, now it's not about looks. Ati hizo nilikuwa na marambo. I had them.
But you saw what they did to me.
I saw the rambos, you know, so it's not rambo. And I'm telling you girls and ladies, it's not about those, my men, guys. It's what is in here. That's all that matters.
Thank you for your insights.
Thank you.
So now this is what you're doing here in Kenya when you're not in the US.
Yes, when I'm in Kenya, this is my baby.
Please invite your friends who are in the US and friends of Prof. All of them. Tell them that they can come to visit here in Kenya.
For all the diaspora people in the US, a lot of those ladies in Wito, all those people in the diaspora, the families, I know, we call some bunnies, and I know some of us are headed this way. This is a beautiful place for you to come and unwind. A nice place if you have a family get together, because we can actually host 16 people in this villa. If you have say bachelorette or those stags nights, stags night, this is a place. About my music.
Yes.
So I have I told you about my surgery and the pact I had with God, and I remember even when I was going for my surgery, I asked my surgeon, what is the worst that can happen? And he told me, it's 3 things. Either you don't wake up, or you don't walk, or you feel your legs. So here I am. I was walking, I'm a Vijiti. Now I'm even wearing my 2 shoes. And of course I live with chronic pain. Sometimes it's really, really bad. But there was that pact I had with God that if he got me through that, I would serve him. And I decided I was going to minister through music. And so I have a song, an album called Sinful Child.
Sinful.
Sinful, yeah, because we all have sins. Yeah. So it's called Sinful Child. And just on Sunday, I have 3 songs already out on YouTube. That's my YouTube link is Marjorie Wanjiku YouTube. And on Sunday I did one which is Sijakata Tamaa. And Sijakata Tamaa is really for anyone who's ever faced rejection. who's gone through a rough time like me. You know, it is just a song to just remind us that there's no need of giving up. You have to keep fighting because God is on our side. And every time we call onto our Lord, He'll always come through for us.
Absolutely.
So that is what Sijakata Tama is all about. Every song that is there, now there are 3 and this last one is the 4th one, is my journey.
Finally, a 2-part question.
Yes.
What are your best moments so far in life? And do you have any regrets?
My best moments in life, can I say 2?
Yes.
Being a mother to my daughter and my son. They're my best moments. Do I have any regrets? I will be lying if I say I don't have any regrets. My regret is opening my heart to the wrong people. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
That would be my regret. Yeah.
It has cost you, hasn't it?
I would be very far. With my
Oh.
I would be very, very far.
Indeed.
Yes, but God has a reason. God has a reason.
The French say, c'est la vie. Such is life.
Such is life. Such is life.
Thank you so much, Marjorie.
Thank you.
For your time.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate.
Asante.
Tuko family, that's what Tuko Talks is all about. We've heard the story of Marjorie, her choices, she calls them wrong choices of partners. And finally, she found love at 50 in the United States. And you can see the wonderful things that she's doing, even here in Kenya. Have you been inspired? Would you like to share your story with us as well? Please get in touch with us and get in touch with Marge. She may also inspire you in other ways. My name is Marjorie Wanjiku. This has been Tuko Talks. See you in Nairobi. I'm enjoying being in Nanyuki.